the last 3 months, because of COVID-19, schools have been shut. I hope that these materials that we present today will be beneficial to students in their final year of secondary or high school.
Hello viewers, once again welcome to this platform. We shall be considering the concept of acid in chemistry today. The concepts of acid in chemistry. At the end of this study, you should know the definition of acid, the classification of acid, the preparation of acid, physical properties of acid, chemical properties of acid, uses of acid, and basicity of acid. Now, what is an acid? An acid is a substance that ionizes in water to produce proton or hydrogen ion. A few examples of acids are hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6 acid, which is also commonly referred to as sulfuric acid, hydrogen trioxonitrates 5 acid, which is also commonly referred to as nitric acid, hydrochloric acid. Now, what are the various classifications of acid? The first classification is acid can be classified into organic and inorganic acid. An acid also can be classified into weak and strong acid. In some cases, you can also classify acid into concentrated and dilute acid. Now, what is an organic acid? Organic acids are mostly acids that are found in living things, whether plants or animals. Examples of them are ethanoic acid, which is found in palm wine. We have lactic acid found in milk and milk yogurt, milk products. We have ascorbic acid, normally found in oranges, tangerines. We have amino acid in proteins, fatty acid in fats and oils, and citric acid in lime. Example of inorganic acid. Inorganic acid are actually acid mostly synthesized in industry. They are not commonly found in living things, though we have a few examples like hydrochloric acid that is secreted in the gastric juice, but inorganic acid are mostly synthesized in large quantities by industries. Example of inorganic acid we have, the first one is hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6 acid, we have hydrogen trioxonitrate 5, we have hydrochloric acid, we have hydrogen tetraoxophosphate 5, we also have hydrogen trioxosulfate 4 acid. Now, weak acids are acid that does not ionize completely in water. For instance, if you have like 4 or 5 molecules of a weak acid, not all of them ionizes. Maybe 3 out of 4 ionizes. So an acid that does not ionize completely in water is referred to as weak acid. Example of weak acid are all organic acid are weak acid. For instance, we've mentioned earlier what organic acid are. We have the lactic acid, ethanoic acid, also acetic acid. We have fatty acid and the rest. All of them are weak acid because they don't ionize completely in water. We have examples of inorganic acid that are also weak acid. We have hydrogen trioxosulfate 4. We have hydrogen tetraoxophosphate 5. All of them are examples of inorganic acid that are weak acid. Now, summarily, you see, all organic acid are weak acid, but not all inorganic acid are weak acid. Now, what are examples of strong acid? These are strong acid that ionize completely in water. Example is hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6, what we see from above. We have hydrogen trioxonitrate 5, and we also have hydrochloric acid. These are examples of strong acid. Strong acid ionizes completely in water. Now, acid can be prepared in the laboratory using different methods. The first method of preparing acid is by direct combination of constituent elements. By combining hydrogen gas and chlorine gas, we're going to have hydrochloric acid. Now, that is a method of direct combination. Acid also can be prepared by dissolving acid anhydride. What are acid anhydride? Sulfur 4 oxide, carbon 4 oxide. These two are acid anhydride. When you dissolve acid anhydride in water, you're going to have, for instance, when you dissolve sulfur 4 oxide in water, you're going to have hydrogen trioxosulfate 4 acid. When you dissolve carbon 4 oxide in water, you're going to have hydrogen thiazocarbonate 4. Now, acid also can be prepared by using a strong acid to displace another acid from its salt. By reacting sodium chloride and sulfuric acid, you're going to have hydrochloric acid and sodium tetraoxosulfate salts. Now, what are the physical properties of acid? First, generally, acid has sourness. That is why when you take things like oranges, you discover they are sour in taste, and anything that is sour in taste mostly contains acid. Concentrated forms of acid can burn, they can be very corrosive, and acid turn blue litmus paper to red. Now, what are the chemical properties of acid? Acid generally reacts with metals, especially metals that are above hydrogen, above copper rather, in the electrochemical series. Now, acid reacts with metals to produce hydrogen gas. Now, acid also reacts with carbonates to produce carbon 4 oxide. This is also evident with an effervescence. Now, acid also reacts with base to produce salt and water, a reaction in chemistry known as neutralization reaction. What are the various uses of acid? Acid can be used in the manufacturing of soap, a process known as saponification. Fatty acid, particularly, are used in the manufacturing of soap. Now, another uses of acid is that acid are used as preservatives. For instance, boric acid, acetic acid are used as preservative. In the production of fizzy drinks like citric acid, also carbonic acid are used in the production of fizzy drinks. Acid also are used in the manufacturing of electrolytes in automobile batteries. The electrolyte in automobile batteries is particularly hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6. And acid can also be used in the treatment of diseases like vitamin C. Ascorbic acid is used in the treatment of scurvy. Now, what is basicity? Basicity is the number of ionizable hydrogen atom in an acid. Now, the basicity of hydrochloric acid is 1 after ionization. The basicity of hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6 here is 2 because the ionizable hydrogen atom is 2 here, and this is diabasic. The basicity of nitric acid is 1 because the ionizable hydrogen atom is 1. The basicity of acetic acid is also 1 because the ionizable hydrogen atom is 1 here, and the basicity of phosphoric acid here is also 3 because the ionizable hydrogen atom here is 3. So this is tribasic, this is monobasic, this is monobasic as well. Sulfuric acid is diabasic, while hydrochloric acid is also monobasic. Now, before we go, I give you this class activity. Which gas is generated when acid is added to carbonates? Thank you for listening. Meet you some other time. Thank you. Goodbye.